So imagine this. You're excited. You just bought your first house. You leave the closing. You go to the house, open the door, and find a big surprise. This poor couple bought a house that they thought was renovated by a flipper. Everything looked great. They had a home inspection. They had a realtor. They closed. They get to the house, open the front door, and are just punched in the face with the smell of cat urine. Now, this is the same house from the previous video I showed you where sellers are losing money by selling to these cash investors. So if you watch that video, you would know they first tried to sell this house as is. Then they took it off the market and they slapped a coat of paint and put new carpet in, fixed the hole in the ceiling, and the place was loaded with air fresheners. I'll link the newspaper article down in the comments below, but this is where, now on the flip side of this, you have to be careful as a buyer purchasing a home that was flipped. Do you know if permits were pulled? How do you know what kind of job they really did? Now, I'm not an attorney. I don't pretend to be one, but they did do a home inspection. Their home inspector didn't catch it, but typically home inspectors are not allowed to walk in the attic, because if they fall through the ceiling, they just go up there, with their flashlight, look around, and that's about it. How this home inspector missed all of this in the attic, I don't know. But I believe most home inspectors have in their paperwork that they're not liable if they miss something, because nobody's perfect. I believe they're also suing the realtor. I don't think that the realtor knew this information. Maybe had the realtor done their due diligence for their buyer and pulled the listing history, they would have seen that it was on the market before as a fixer-upper, but they would have had no idea about the cats or any of that. So the buyers for this property started doing their own investigating. They found some news articles dated back to 2021 about cats being rescued from this house. They had a neighbor tell him that there were a lot of complaints made to the city about the cats in the house and the smell just walking by the outside. So for the people flipping it, I don't see how they could say they weren't aware of any cat urine or cat feces in the attic. If they were throwing air fresheners up there, they were obviously trying to, in my opinion, mask the smell of it. And even doing a home inspection, the home inspector didn't uncover anything with it. They've even found, I believe the article says, some skeletal remains of cats in the ductwork and in the basement ceiling. Well, no inspector is going to look inside the ductwork, and even a flipper isn't going to look inside the ductwork. Same with the home inspector. Those aren't just places that they normally check. But I know the article also says too, it was like a hot, humid, rainy day of the closing, and they went there, and of course with the rain and the humidity, when you get any kind of animal urine into wood or drywall, there is no removing that smell. It has to be replaced. So if they didn't replace the underneath the carpet and they just threw down new carpet, every time it gets humid out, you're going to get that smell. The wood just absorbs it. There's No getting rid of it. But this is something that I don't know how many times these buyers visited this house or how many other homes they looked at. Didn't they think it was strange with these, air fresheners all over the place? I mean, couldn't they? I don't believe that there's no way that they could have smelled nothing at all if you've got reports of neighbors saying that they could smell it from the outside. Even when the home inspector stuck his head, say, up in the attic, wouldn't he have noticed any kind of, that's a pretty strong odor and hard to get rid of. And if the buyers were there for a few hours for the home inspection, there goes my question of how did the buyers not notice anything? They were first time buyers, so maybe they were just so excited they didn't notice. But this is why when buyers want to buy the shiny penny, the house that's all updated, when somebody is updating for purposes of flipping a house, they're going to cut corners, typically wherever they can, because their main goal is to make as much money as possible. It's completely different when you're buying a home that has been updated, but was updated by the owner, and that owner updated it for themselves to enjoy. That's where you're going to find that, they didn't cut corners because they weren't trying to flip it. So I hope you found this information useful, helpful. Be leery about not only being a seller, selling to these cash buyers, but be leery if you're a buyer purchasing the pretty penny, the flipped house. Make sure you know what you're getting. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this pertaining to real estate issues, like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in another video.